Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. This is one of the most bizarre situations I can recall in Call of Duty history. As we know, Black Ops 7 is on the horizon. It's releasing this month. The current release date is November 14th. That's what they've had plastered all over their marketing, all over their trailers. It's always the pre-order now, Call of Duty Black Ops 7, November 14th, so on and so forth, right? Except for the fact that for the past few weeks, there has been this ongoing rumor that Call of Duty is going to surprise us and release Black Ops 7, or at least a part of Black Ops 7, early. And I've sort of sat back, I've watched this, I'm seeing everything that moves in Call of Duty in that community. I see it all, trust me. And I'm sitting here watching this going, you know, I would be incredibly surprised if this game released early, because Call of Duty just doesn't do that. They would have said something by now. However, there has been coincidence after coincidence after coincidence that has surfaced that does fit the narrative that Call of Duty might surprise us and release part of Black Ops 7 early. It starts with this tweet here from PlayStation Game Size, talking about the now live on the PlayStation database version of Black Ops 7. Now, it's the PlayStation 4 version, shows you the download size for the multiplayer pack, the zombies pack, the campaign pack. It says there's going to be a preload live for this on November 9th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, which adds up. We usually see that preload go live a few days early. But then there's the release times, which say the campaign and zombies modes will be releasing on November 10th, which would be 4 days early, and multiplayer releasing November 17th, which is 3 days late. So like, clearly something is not right with these dates, especially the multiplayer one. Like, that's just blatantly, obviously wrong. But why is the release for the campaign and the zombie time early? Now, PlayStation Game Size does note, they say important. The size and release times may change, but these are the currently listed details. I'll post the size of the PlayStation 5 version soon. That has yet to surface at the time that I'm recording this video, for what it's worth, but I thought this was really peculiar, just the fact that there's two different release times for the two different portions of the game. I've been advocating for campaign early access since we first got it in MW2. I think it's a fantastic thing, and I think this year in specific, with the campaign endgame co-op features of all available there, with the ability to level up weapons and earn camos, I think this would be a pristine time, literally the perfect time to do campaign early, let players experience that, let them get some stuff ready for day one of multiplayer. Like, it'd be a phenomenal way to promote campaign. They would get insane sales on that and insane numbers on that, purely because you can start earning camos and leveling up some guns early and checking out in-game potentially. But this is just the beginning of the very, very strange coincidences that have surfaced regarding this. Next up is this tweet. Demon Gamer replied to PlayStation Size. They're saying, why is it saying 8 days and 20 hours on the playable in, which would indicate an early release? This would end up being, I believe, November 10th. Ghost of Hope quote tweeted this and said, what? With a billion question marks, right? And in the replies here, Demon Gamer showed exactly what they saw when they booted this up. So they posted this short on YouTube here, and you can see as we go through, they'll go into their store here. They search up Call of Duty in the store, as you would, to find the actual listing for it and get it ready for pre-order, preload, and everything like that. So they search up Call of Duty just to prove that, like, there's nothing weird, that wasn't like a photoshopped image or anything. They show them actually doing it. They go in, they look at the actual version of the game here. They change over to the Vault Edition. And when they view it, the countdown says 8 days. And it clearly says 8 days there. So, like, it doesn't add up at all. And it's deliberately there on PlayStation. So it's like, what's going on with this now? And not only do you have the actual store with the countdown timer there showing an early access date, another person ended up responding to Hope saying the PlayStation App Store also says this. Expected release date is November 13th at 11 o'clock local time there. Expected download date, November 6th. That'd be about a week early. Typically, if there's going to be an early access period, it'd be anywhere between 4 and 7 days early, like what we've seen before, that week-long early access, or maybe if they're doing it last second this year, it'd be a 3 or a 4 day early access period. I think that would make a lot of sense. And like I said, I'm not expecting this game to release early, but you can't ignore that there are some hilariously circumstantial pieces of evidence here that indicate that maybe something is going on. And this still is not it. Flexi here also posted this tweet. They secretly changed a lot of the Black Ops 6 events to end on the 10th rather than the 14th, by the way. And I noticed that in game, we have all these end of season 6 events going on right now, the various leaderboard stuff, some of the multi-week things going on in Black Ops 6 and Warzone to round out the year. Originally, all the event end dates basically counted down to the release of Black Ops 7 on November 14th. And then out of the blue, I think it was one day last week, I saw a couple of tweets surface that was like, hey, they changed the timer on these events. They cut it down by a few days, and now the events are ending on November 10th. Again, this feeds the narrative that something strange is going on here. Now, this might all be purely coincidental, and it's really funny if it ends up being like that, but you can't deny we have evidence after evidence after evidence, all pointing towards something being suspicious here. Oh, and guess what? This still is not it. You also have this person replying to the original tweets here showing the weird countdown dates, and let's watch this video that they ended up posting showing the countdown timer. They're looking at the Vault Edition countdown, and on the actual store page for this, it says it's counting down in 12 days, 5 hours, so on. This would be the correct release time. But if you go through and you actually click on it, what happens? 8 days. Then it goes back to 12 days. So either PlayStation has monumentally screwed up here, and there is something really bizarre going on, and that'll probably get fixed or updated, and in the coming days they'll release another database patch for this, or Black Ops 7 is going to have some kind of early access. Now, if they're going to do it in a year like this, where they've already made a bunch of panic maneuvers and last second changes to play into the community's requests because they need to win back the community, because a lot of us are over on Battlefield right now, releasing early would make sense because that's going to create that viral hype. Oh, Black Ops 7 early access tomorrow. They release something like that, like say on the 9th, they post that. Play campaign early tomorrow, or play zombie survival early tomorrow. That's a viral moment. That's hype behind that, and that gets people on. And like I said, I think this year, of all the recent years, like they did MW2 early access, they did MW3 early access, and the MW3 campaign sucked because they worked on it for like 3 weeks, right? Like they didn't have enough time to make a good campaign in MW3, and then they did early access, and all the attention on COD for that entire early access week was, wow, that was a bad campaign. And for whatever reason, Call of Duty like panicked and said, oh, we made a bad campaign, we can't do early access ever again. It can't happen. And so they canceled it with Black Ops 6. Campaign early access is a good thing. It's a great way to not have FOMO. People want to jump into multiplayer, but you have this huge chunk of players that are like, I want to play the campaign. I'm interested in the story, but I might fall behind in multiplayer, and I don't want that to happen. I got to be ready for the Warzone integration, or I don't have much time to level my guns. I got to do that, so I won't play the campaign. This solves that. Campaign early access solves that. And in the year where you're giving campaign more content than ever with camos, weapon progression, end game as well, that's a prime opportunity to serve that up on a silver platter and say, hey, experience it for 4 days early, experience it for a week early. So whether or not this ends up coming to fruition, time is going to tell here very soon. But something incredibly weird and incredibly suspicious is going on with Call of Duty, and a lot of things right now, nothing official, but a lot of very strange coincidences are all lining up, indicating that it could potentially partially release early. Obviously, if anything official ends up happening here and Call of Duty does tease something or announce something, we'll be covering it right here as it happens. So stay tuned for that alongside everything else going on in the world of COD. Obviously, a very busy few weeks coming up here with launch and everything. You're not going to want to miss out on any of it. So hit that subscribe button, turn on those post notifications. We are less than 3,000 subscribers away from hitting 1 million. And of course, if you guys enjoyed this video, a like rating would be seriously appreciated as well. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.